All right, people, here we go. Welcome in. It is another fine edition here of, what's the name of the show? It is the NBA Tip-Off Show. It is powered by, of course, WagerTalk.com. I'm Joe Raineri, joined along here with the distinguished panel of NBA cappers, which will include Ski Profit joining us here today, Dr. Chuck RX, Rob Vino of Rob Vino. How's that? Rob Vino of Rob Vino, and, of course, Tony Finn of WagerTalk.com. So we got WagerTalk, we got SportsMemo involved here, guys. Want to welcome you in, and thank you very much for dropping by as we try yet another one of these live broadcasts coming to you here at WagerTalk TV. Make sure you guys subscribe in the upper right-hand corner as we do ourselves a favor and cover a little NBA here today. And tonight, of course, we've got a 6-game slate here, guys, but we got plenty of opportunities to be able to profit. And I'll start, of course, Ski. It's been a little while since we last spoke, so what's been going on in the NBA with you, my friend?
It's been pretty good. Last few days, I think I went, 3-1 or maybe 4-2, but yesterday was a 1-1 day. I had the Thunder plus the 7.5 and the disappointing Celtics, so trying to get the run back going again today.
Trying to get it back up, man. And Dr. Chuck, how you been? What's new with you, man?
Not much. Glad to be on here for a live show. Didn't have any plays last night, but I leaned towards the GS, so I'm glad that I stayed away from that as it was a painful ending for that play. But seemed like the only way to go in that game, but luckily stayed off.
Okay, all right. Very good. Rob Vino, how'd you do last night, man? What's going on?
Yeah, it's been a pretty good run here over the last 7-8 days, Joe. 10-4 on that pretty nice run. Good season. 58% on the year, so it's continues to be good. Last night, tried to give as much knowledge as we could on the show. Denver, Atlanta over the total gets there. Did come up short, though. I was with you, Joe, on that Philadelphia Oklahoma City game under. I had that play last night, and it couldn't have gone over any quicker. So
no, it couldn't.
That was a wrong side, but like I said, it's been good as of late.
All right, so guys, let's dive in. We got to say, and screw you, Tony Finn, by the way. Well, welcome in. I'm only kidding. Welcome in, Tony Finn. As usual, Tony, how'd you do last night? All right, good to hear from you. Thanks very much, Tony. We'll just move right along here. It is a quick card, six games on the board here tonight. No, I'm only kidding. Finn, how'd you do last night, man?
I did okay. I swept the board.
You did?
Well, my board I swept.
Oh, well, that's all that matters.
2-0. One college, one NBA winner. That's good enough for government work. Ask Ski.
Okay. Well, that's a lot of truth to that, man. All right, guys, let's dive into what we've got coming up here on the board. 6 games tonight. News of the day, of course, is the fact that they did opt for surgery regarding Blake Griffin. So if you ever considered betting the Detroit Pistons, stop that right now. It looks like he is going to be out. I don't know if they ended him for the year, but it does appear that at the very least it's going to be a while for him, and that's some unfortunate news there, Rob Vino, for Detroit. I don't even know. I don't know if you're Detroit. What do you do right now with this team? What do you do?
Yeah, it's kind of become Derrick Rose's team, hasn't it? I mean, D Rose has been outstanding over the course of the last month. I think he had 28 last game. But the injury situation has been bad for Detroit for about a week now. Yep. Without Luke Kennard, we talked about the 5 that they put on the floor last week. Those will be the same 5 that they march out there tonight to start the game. So they've got issues. We're going to see the bookmakers adjust for sure. I don't know really, Joe, to tell you the truth, what Blake Griffin was worth in the line to this team this year. Couldn't have been that much in the condition he was in before he went on the injured list. So, Detroit, I think, will remain what they are. When Luke Kennard comes back, maybe they're a little bit better, but it's a bottom dweller team. Let's see if they trade some pieces off. Maybe that might be one thing they're considering.
Well, you're going to have to do something here because that team is they're in rough shape right now. And we'll start, guys, with them. In fact, as the Pistons will be taking on another just fantastic team, really, with their crap together, the Cleveland Cavaliers. And last I checked, Kevin Love is not playing dodgeball, whipping balls at teammates' face just yet, but it is early as he did apologize for his behavior, by the way. Yeah, but it's a mess here. Cleveland Cavaliers are at home. Believe it or not, Detroit found the one team, even without Blake Griffin, they could be the favorite on. Opened up at 3. I'm seeing 3.5 across the board. Totals increased from 215 to 219.5. So I'll start with you, Ski. Talk to me here, brother. You trust Cleveland laying points at home as a home favorite, do you?
You know, I looked at this game before the lines even came out, and my first thought was, whoever's getting the points, that's whoever I probably would look towards. And I mean, it's Cleveland today. I know it's been the hell no Cavs, but I don't know if Kevin Love back is good for them or not. The way he doesn't want to be there. I would love for Tristan Thompson to be there because they don't have Larry Nance. Otherwise, they're going to be really small. But the only thing I could look is Cleveland's way. Detroit, without Kennard, without Griffin, without Morris, it's too much offense gone. Both teams haven't really been playing well lately, but looking at last 5 game stats, offense has been better for Cleveland. Defense has been better. They're a better rebounding team. And I want to say their last game, they were getting blown out of the water, and they kind of had a little bit of fight back at the end, and I'd like to see that. So maybe they can carry that into this game. I would look at Cleveland.
All right, so talking to Cleveland, Dr. Chuck, talk to me, man. You back in Cleveland in this spot here?
Absolutely, and we were discussing before we went live. Why is this expanding to 3.5? I don't know if there's something that we don't know. You were mentioning Love is active. We don't know about Tristan Thompson. I guess he's game time decision unless that's already changed. But the injuries seem to be worse for the Pistons, and they're laying 3.5 on the road. This spot is terrible. This is the end of a 6-game road trip. A bunch of tough teams they played. They couldn't possibly care less. They get a day off, and then they play the Cavs again at home. So, I mean, if you're a player looking at the schedule on the end of a 6-game road trip, I mean, it's hard to imagine the effort that the Pistons are going to be putting up there, knowing they probably don't have Blake if they had anything. Drummond is definitely going to be traded somewhere, and everything else is in shambles. They might not have Tony Snell either. It's hard to imagine that the Cavs aren't the team that you expect to win this game, and
right.
Yet they're 3.5. So that gives me a little trepidation, but I guess you just roll with it.
Yep, that's all you can do. Rob Vino, talk to me, man. You rolling with listen, you love Kevin Love, who is active, by the way. We love Tristan Thompson. We love Cleveland. They just suck. There's really nothing you can do about it. But do you like them in this spot?
Well, what I'd like to do is probably defer my time to Brian Leonard, and then he could tell us why Cleveland's going to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
They're on against the spread string of 4 straight losses, the Cavs, right? And as bad as bleak as the picture is that we paint of the Pistons, they have covered 2 of their last 3, 2 in a row. You know, they were in the same spot on the road against Golden State a couple nights ago, and they beat Golden State by 7. How much better is Cleveland than Golden State? I'm not sure. Probably not much. Those 2 teams are even. The Lakers kind of stumbled through that 106-99 win on Sunday night. Wasn't a lot of interest there on the Lakers side, so you can understand covering as a big underdog there. But you cross 3 time zones to fly to Cleveland with only a day off. Now you have to take on the Cavaliers, and I think there's just so many questions. All you guys have pointed them out. Does Kevin Love, or do the teammates want to play with Kevin Love? How about we start there? Will Pistons reserves want to come out and have a good showing for themselves? Andre Drummond should dominate this matchup. We talked about the gaping hole in the middle for the Cavs with no Tristan Thompson if he doesn't go. So, to me, too many questions. I don't understand why there was a huge push on the total here, guys. I really don't. Can you trust these teams to consistently score? For me, it's probably a pass both ways, side and total.
Oh, speaking of trust.
Yes.
Tony Finn.
Go ahead.
Finn. Ah, yes. We trust Tony Finn to be here and deliver us the truth, nothing but the truth. So help you God. Isn't that how it goes, Finn? Are you back in Cleveland, Tony Finn? Are you?
Let me see. No Nance. No Porter. No Thompson, probably. I mean, why would he want to play, right? But on the other side, no Bone, no Griffin, no Jackson, no Kennard, no
Roger, no
Morris.
I got you, man.
Here's the deal. And you have a team that is, at the end of a 6-game, 11-day road swing. Take the team that's tired here, because they're going to be the most interesting. I'm out on this, but I'll take Detroit. I'll be the contrary one of this bunch.
All right, you're going to take Detroit just because, hey, why not, right? You're in it to win it. He's going Detroit, and that's why we love Tony Finn here. We got a lot of passes, and it's such an exciting game. I'm shocked so many of you decided to pass on that. So we'll move on to the next game. And we'll talk about another team that is just absolutely decimated here, guys, with injuries. What can you say here? Toronto Raptors, talk about no Gasol, no Siakam here, no Van Fleet, but this is a gritty-ass team here. They have managed to figure out how to score. The games that they have lost, even with these injuries, they've lost to the better teams. That is not Portland, who they are playing tonight in Toronto. They're tough. Listen, the depth is shown here. They're better than the average team. You got an average team in Portland tonight, Ski. The line is 2.5. I'm seeing 220 as a total. You trust Toronto to get the job done at home?
I definitely trust them more than Portland, and you gave a lot of good reasons, but like you said, a lot of injuries for Toronto. That's the only reason I'm questioning it. But looking at Portland, 4-7 as a road dog, 3-10 versus competition, 55% win teams are greater, and they're 1-6 against the spread their last 7 games. They're not even playing well, so it's not really any way I could look towards Portland. CJ McCollum is questionable with illness. He could suit up, could not, but either way, I think Toronto is really good at the house. I think the reserves can step up. They're 11-5 as a home favorite. They killed those lesser teams. 45% win teams or less, 7-4. They're 8-4 against the spread their last 12. I would be looking Toronto or pass. And on the total, 2 teams that play a little bit slower. We know Toronto still can play defense even with those players missing. And the Blazers' defense hasn't been so great, but it's a lot of offense missing for Toronto. So I probably like the first half under, full game under, less points.
Doc, talk to me here. The last 6 in between these two teams here have, in fact, gone over the total. Total kind of stagnant there, just still hovering around that same number it opened up with at 220. Do you trust Toronto here at home to be able to do it with what they got left?
Yeah, I think that'd be the only way I could go, because I just backed the Blazers a little too much, and they just don't seem to have anybody to stop anyone for some reason. Whiteside's not even doing anything down there, and it's like he said, the Raptors are pretty beat up, and that is the only reason the Blazers might be able to stop someone. Last 5 games, they've only won 1, and their defensive rating is about 121, and it's just it's pretty abysmal. And they had a day off in Toronto after a day off in Miami, and that's a couple of good places to be when you're on the road and you don't have a whole lot going on for you. I think the Raptors are kind of buckling down, and I think you can get them on a short price like this at home. It's a pretty good deal, because the Blazers just can't. I mean, especially if there's not going to be any CJ. I mean, I guess I don't know to what extent that's which way that is, if it's more of a probable or more of a doubtful. But I mean, if that is the case, then this is Raptors or nothing.
I got to tell you there, Rob Vino Sports there, and on Twitter, also Sports Memo. Him and the Doc is where you can find them. You look at the numbers. Raptors 2-5 against the number in their last 7 when they've had a couple of days rest, and 1-4 against the number in their last 5 following a double-digit win here. What do you do with this team and Portland, who we keep waiting for that shoe to fall with Portland, right? We all keep waiting for them to get together, it'll work, Lillard, it'll all work, and it's not working, man. It's just not working.
Well, it'll work later on in the second half of the year when they get Nurkic back, when they get Zach Collins back, when they get Rodney Hood back. I mean, you're talking about a team that can stretch their lineup from only 6 players to probably around 9 or 10. Once we talked about the Toronto injuries, these injuries that Portland has tried to make their way through for the better part of a month now. It's just crazy how banged up they are. McCollum listed as probable from what I see, Joe, and even if he goes, with this bug that's been running around the NBA through every single locker room, you wonder just how effective he would be. If I knew CJ McCollum was going to be, 85, 90%, I would think that the backcourt of the Blazers could establish themselves against a backcourt which is now minus Fred VanVleet. Kyle Lowry can only do so much. But then on the other side of the coin, I think Toronto's got a front court advantage. It's interesting because Toronto loves the fast break. They love to score off the fast break. I wonder if they don't slow this one down a little bit against Portland, because, that's Portland's only asset is their backcourt and kind of speeding up tempo. I'm with Ski a little bit here in the fact that I think this game stays under 220. I don't see any way this game gets up into the 221 or better. So for me, it would probably be an under here, mostly due to injuries and the way these matchups go.
Tony Finn. Talk to me, Finn. Where you looking at?
Not on this game. Not interested in being on this game, but listening to everybody looking at this, I did look at this last night. Portland, or I take that. Toronto's, I think they're 16-9-1 or 17-9 against the spread at home, and a lot of those games were with the same injured people, same injured personnel. You're laying a bucket. You're supposed to take Toronto here. If you're playing this game, you're supposed to be on Toronto.
Fantastic. Thank you very much there. Tony Finn, WagerTalk.com. Guy is all over it. Do want to send a shout-out, by the way, guys, to those of you joining us live in YouTube at WagerTalk TV. We got Luke DM in there telling us that if you like Portland, then you would like the over. If you like the Raptors, then you're probably under. He's talking about correlated bets. Good point, Luke. Daryl also talking about how Toronto definitely, that the under, rather, should win in this game, and that Portland is just completely spending way too much time asking Lillard to do everything, including, apparently cook the food and do everything else. Mitch, welcome in. Nice to see you guys. Also, Adam, Brian Stewart, we want to welcome all you guys. John Wick, always a pleasure to see you guys. Thank you very much for making us a part of your day here on the NBA Tip-Off Show, powered by WagerTalk.com. Guys, let's move on to game number 3 here on the card tonight, 7:30. We're looking at the Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Brooklyn Nets. And Tony Finn, I'll start with you because this is a game here opened up as Oklahoma City laying some points here. Two, in fact, is what it opened up. 217 was the total. We're going the other way now. We got Brooklyn 1.5 to 1 in a lot of places now, so we got a little bit of a line shift. Both teams coming off of just horrific games here. Listen, Brooklyn looks to me like they're getting into some really bad habits they can't figure out how to get out of. Oklahoma City kind of looked a little lethargic in that game last night. Didn't kind of look like they wanted to be there. Gave them a good fight, but just weren't able to pull it out in the end. So talk to me here. Do you have a feeling one way or another against with these two teams?
Oh, if I was going to, again, this is another game that I looked at. Not too interested in it, guys, and audience. The Brooklyn's struggling right now because their first rotation is averaging about 60 points a game. That's not good enough. It's just not good enough against anyone, including Cleveland and Detroit, et cetera, et cetera. Listen, Oklahoma City's been playing pretty well. I don't think their effort was pretty good last night. They came up a little bit short on the second game on a back-to-back. I'm not a huge fan of OKC in that situation. I don't know their numbers off my head, but I would say I'm on OKC tonight. If I'm playing this game, I'm not, guys, but that's where I would lean.
Ski, talk to me. You got any interest, unlike Tony? Talk to me. You like interest? What kind of interest you got here? Talk to me.
Well, I got the numbers for you on the back-to-back. Thunder are 5-0 on the second of a back-to-back against the spread.
There you go.
I initially, I looked at this game. I was loving the Thunder. The one thing I don't like that Gallinari's out. I don't like that Noel is out. And majority of those back-to-backs, they have both of those guys. So you get a little bit less depth. And they played, I want to say, they played everybody a good amount of minutes last night. So I don't like that. They are playing well, 6-0 against the spread, last 6, 2-1 as a road favorite. In Brooklyn, they're 5-0 as a home dog. They've been playing terrible lately. If I'm playing, I got to be back in OKC just because I know that the team likes playing together. They've been playing good ball lately. I still trust Chris Paul and company to get it done, minus what the bucket. The offense has been better. Defense has been better. Rebounding and advantage still. So I'll go with OKC. And probably without Gallinari, two teams that play defense and OKC doesn't want to play fast. Brooklyn's offense has been so bad, I probably would lean under too.
Nets, Doc, the Nets 7-3 against the number in their last 10 at home. Also, listen, 4-1 against the number in their last 5 on no days rest here. So we got a couple of teams that actually have been pretty profitable to back on that whole back-to-back situation here in game number 2. Which one of them do you like?
Yeah, and it's a pretty bad spot for both teams that are, Ski mentioned they played a lot of minutes. Pretty easy game for both of them to maybe want to punt. I like the under a lot in this spot. The Nets are 3-0 to the under on no rest. The Thunder have a points in the paint, like a Ralphie trend going today with the points in the paint where they allowed so many last night to Philly. Now play a team that where it might have gone over because of that reason, and now play a team that doesn't dominate the paint, and the under is, for the Thunder, the under 6-0 just on the season, but 23 for 23 the last 23 times. That, I mean, some of that includes a lot of different lineups, and so I narrowed it down to just the 6 this season. But it's already trending down a little bit, and maybe it'll take back up. 217 was pretty good. I don't really have a good opinion on the side because, like he said, it should be the Thunder. Like Tony said, it should be the Thunder, and yet, something about the Nets are 0-5 last 5. Thunder are 4-1. They were 4-0 going into last night. So why wouldn't it be the Thunder? And yet it doesn't appear to be on the line. So it keeps me off of that. But I definitely like the under.
The chat room here, Rob Vino, seems to be split a little bit. Some folks back in saying the Brooklyn Nets are the easy choice. Some saying OK City. Got a whole lot looking at the under in this. What says you?
Yeah, I could agree with the under. I think I would play a little bit contrarian and lean toward Brooklyn in this game. Gallinari is such an important part of this team. I don't think it could be understated where offense is concerned. We know that Oklahoma City has gone to the three-headed monster at guard, and those guys have taken center stage. There's no doubt about it when you have Gilgeous-Alexander, Chris Paul, and Dennis Schroeder. Those guys do the bulk of the scoring on most nights with Gallinari. He's the only front court guy that really provides consistent scoring. Steven Adams does what he does, but the rest of the OKC front court, it really isn't built to score points, and Brooklyn matches up real good with little teams. If you're going to run 3 guards at them, they're going to run 3 guards back at you. We're going to add Karis LeVert to the lineup tonight because he took yesterday off for rest, but said he felt great in his first game back. Both on back-to-backs. The record's real good for OKC in that situation, but I think that game last night probably took a little bit out of them. That's a tough matchup with Philly up and down the floor. So, travel-wise, it's not much, but I think that Brooklyn, probably because of the absence of Gallinari and the way these backcourts match up, I'd look towards Brooklyn.
All right, and we've got another interesting one on the card here before we get to the Knicks and Lakers, guys. I want to get your thoughts on Sacramento and Phoenix here. Sacramento, of course, on their way back, right? A little back-to-back here. Phoenix, head-scratcher. I think they thought they would be able to win a game here, and they just haven't been able to put it together. Unfortunately, injuries have been a giant pain in the ass for them, but 4.5 is what the Phoenix Suns opened up with at home as a favorite. That, guys, has been pushed up to 6.5. The total, believe it or not, hovering around 226, hasn't changed much. So, Ski, I'll start with you. Phoenix Suns here, they seem to be getting a lot of love early in the market. What do you say?
Joe, I think this is the official hell no team for me.
Great.
For the longest time,
Put up the Suns.
I don't rock with Phoenix. I know they had that great start to the year and they fell off, but I just think the Suns are frauds. I don't trust them laying 6 points. With that said, Sacramento is a second of a back-to-back, and they're missing Bogdanovich. If they had him in, I could look the Kings' way. But without him, I just can't. So it probably will be a spot for Phoenix, but I just don't like to back them. And as far as the total, I know the Kings are playing a little bit faster now with De'Aaron Fox back. I don't think Phoenix minds getting up and down the court. I can see more points than less.
Tony Finn, might I be able to tickle you in some interest with this game here of all the games on the card?
Actually, you can. For a couple reasons. One, because I like the Suns here. I'm going to be contrary to Ski. I like the Suns for several reasons. One, because they have played very well against this Kings team. And this will be their 4th game this year. Actually, they'll be done with the 4-game series before the All-Star break. With not only Bogdanovich being out is pretty important here. Holmes, I don't think he's going to play after hurting himself last night. And the Suns are going to a big line. They're going to go to a big lineup. They're going to play start the 2 bigs, Ayton, and when they play these 2 together, not only does that make Booker score 35 tonight at home against the Suns team against a Kings team that he has abused, but I like the Suns by double digits tonight.
Double digits, love that.
Double digits.
Doc, talk to me, man. You a fan of the Phoenix Suns in this spot here?
No, not at all. But I am not a fan of the Kings either. So I guess Ski took the words right out of my mouth. I made that statement for the most part last week. I am not interested in backing the Suns at all. I can only see taking the team that they're playing against. Loved the Knicks in that spot. Got my brains beat in at the end of that game as it was a tie game, and then Suns scored 8 to finish it and covered the -7.5. So that was great. Great fun last week. So I am going to definitely watch and learn again tonight, as I suppose Tony Finn will be right, and they will just slaughter them. To Ski's point, and similar to how Tony mentioned with Devin Booker, the Suns, off of a game where Devin Booker was their leading scorer, which, I mean, he should be most every game, they're 12 straight overs. So it is interesting because I look at this game and I think under, because no Bogdanovich and just the Kings in general, and an offense I don't trust in the Suns that the Kings should be able to handle, but it's probably all those reasons that it's probably going to squeak over at the end. So if I was going to lean any way, I'd go over, but I am watching on the side.
Big shout-out in the chat room to Mr. 40-ounce beer belly dude. He loves the Kings under in the first half, says that the Kings, one of the league's better first-half under teams, 27-9-1. Good stuff there, beer belly dude. Daryl also in the house. Daryl talking to us about how the Kings played pretty hard yesterday, and they still didn't hit the over there, Rob Vino. So is it another under game in your opinion here? Might we be struggling to see some points?
No. I would say no, and I would argue that point that you just raised, Joe, and the fact that that game missed going over by 4 points because Golden State had nobody on the floor. The lineup that Golden State marched out there, it's amazing they got to 98 points. Like I say, it was very kind of Golden State to let us know that, 20 minutes after we wrapped up here, that D'Angelo Russell wasn't going to be active for that game. I thought he was going to be active. Every indication was that he was going to play last night. And then about 4 o'clock Eastern time, he wasn't going to play. So I'm going to look at it two ways. I'm going to look at it over the total here. I think that Sacramento gets to 111 last night against that Golden State team. Just shows you once again what we talked about yesterday, that Sacramento and De'Aaron Fox are committed to playing up-tempo now. And the Suns will play up-tempo with anybody. And then I'll look toward the Suns. I'm not thrilled with the push in the line. Let me start right there. I mean, the opening line was a good number here. I'm a fan of the Suns when Ricky Rubio's on the floor, because Ricky Rubio is just a true point guard. Devin Booker has been able to take so much off his plate this year and just be able to go off the ball, score his points. What's he got, 30-plus and 7 straight now, I think it is. And it just makes them that much more of an offensive team. And to Tony's point, with Aaron Baines and DeAndre Ayton playing together now, it gives them kind of that ability on the defensive boards to get out and run. They got 2 guys that can board now. I like it over 226, and I really love Phoenix at the opener. I would shade them here since the line has jumped a little bit. If Bogdanovich is definitely out, I'm not sure he's definitely out yet. But if he is, then Sacramento still got to 111 last night without him and without Bagley.
Right. So, all right. So we got an overplay here, guys, in this game. Phoenix taking on Sacramento, which leaves us one other game we'll touch on here on the way out. Then we'll drop in some of our best bets of the night. But want to remind you guys, of course, those of you joining us in the chat room, thank you very much. You've got Mr. Ski Profit here over there, Hakeem Profit, along with Tony Finn at WagerTalk.com, Rob Vino and the Doc, Dr. Chuck RX. You can get them at SportsMemo.com. Packages available, guys. Plays will always be up there every day, each and every day. You can grab them there, and then, of course, join us here on the show as we'll do our best to provide you as much up-to-date information and how we're looking at the show, how we're looking at the games, and how we're leaning, and all of that good stuff. Try to make it as profitable an NBA season as humanly possible for you. So I'm going to briefly give Ski 30 seconds to explain to me why the Lakers are going to lose this game. As they are laying, well, it opened up at 14, Ski. It's now 12.5, and you are a Kobe, LeBron, Laker home. Lakers are your team, no doubt, but it's 12.5 points. Somebody's been betting on the Knicks. If it opens up at 14, I'm seeing 12.5. I'm also seeing the total creep up here a little bit. Ski, why are the Knicks going to win this game?
Well, for one, I'll take that challenge, Joe. For one, LeBron James is questionable, so we're not sure if we're even going to get him out there. The Lakers have not been playing well lately. They're 2-8-1 against the spread their last 11. They don't play well versus lesser competition. They kind of play down 7-9-1 versus 45% win teams or less. And in those games, they start off maybe going hard in the first quarter or first half, and then don't really care much about the rest of the game. So if you do like the Lakers, I probably like them first quarter. And why the Knicks are going to cover, they're 10-8 as a road dog. They're 9-6 versus competition, 55% win teams or greater. 4-1 against the spread their last 5 games. They're playing well. Last 5 game stats, their defense has been better than the Lakers. They have a rebounding advantage. I don't think the Lakers really care to win by 14 points.
Right.
So I would back the Knicks, and I probably would look towards under the total too. If LeBron James is not playing, a lot of less points.
So just to recap, it's pretty much Lakers on every line. So just so we got that, I'm going to take the Lakers, LeBron Lakers. And let me ask you here, Tony Finn, last 6 games between these two teams, head-to-head series, the total has gone over. You expect that trend to continue here tonight?
No, I have no expectations for the total in this game. I really don't. I looked at it. It did seem to be going. It actually went to 224 for a short period, then came back down. Mm-hmm. So it's kind of been all over the place. The total has. And I was looking at box scores. I just want to know more about this Kings team. I want to feel more comfortable about saying no or saying yes when you mention the damn Kings or the Knicks. So what I find that I found recently that the more that Randall gets involved, it seems to be the better these Knicks perform. I don't know if that's, it could be just my bad eyesight. The fact that I can't read anything more than words that are more than 4 letters. I don't know. I'm absolutely hands off of this game, and I have been hands off the Knicks for the most part this season. For the most part, I've been hands off the Lakers as well, because I think finally, at least the last 2 weeks, I think they finally have got the Lakers pretty good. I think early in the season, I thought they were undervaluing the Lakers, especially on the road. Right now, I think they're right on.
So I got to say this, though, here, Doc. The Lakers 2-8-1 against the spread in the last 11 games overall, despite the love pouring up from the man sitting next to me. Talk to me here. Are you back in the Knicks tonight? Are you?
Well, I mean, it looks like the money is clearly telling us that that's the only side, but it's like he said, they play down to lesser competition. I worry more about the Knicks' effort in this spot. I think this is a 3-4 back-to-back LA teams. I think playing back-to-back games at Staples, I think, tends to be a pretty positive thing to cover long-term, but I don't know if that takes into account this team. So, I mean, if LeBron was going, I wish that we had a better idea. I can't imagine that if they knew more information that this wouldn't be dropping, considering the Knicks have been doing some surprising things. But I worry that this screams Knicks, just like I thought it screamed Knicks last week and looked like the easy play when they started this road trip. And LeBron does play, and the Lakers get up on them like they did on the Suns, and it's 65-30 before you know it, and there's nothing the Knicks can do to cover.
Talk to me, Rob. Be the voice of reason here, man. I got a lot of wishy-washiness except from Ski, man. Talk to me, man. Are you going Knicks here? Am I the only one on the damn Knicks here? Come on, Rob.
Yeah, it's crazy because I got feelings on both sides, side and total, and they both involve the status of LeBron. So, I mean, if LeBron goes, I'll bet over in this game. I think it gets well over if he goes. For the Knicks, Tony pointed out Julius Randle, but when Mike Miller came in to try and get the chemistry right on that team, there's a question at point guard. Is it Dennis Smith Jr.? Is it Ntilikina? Is it Elfrid Payton? He decided after about a half a dozen games, it's Elfrid Payton. We run best with Elfrid Payton, and they've been good ever since. Now, he missed the game Sunday.
Just reported by ESPN or being told this is great. See, this is why we love our peeps in the chat room there. BHedge88 saying ESPN reported just about 9 minutes ago LeBron is playing, expected to play in this game.
Now I can be definitive, Joe. Play over the total.
Bam.
Over the total. LeBron, well, let me get off my high horse on Elfrid Payton first. Elfrid Payton's been great for the Knicks at point guard. He's back tonight. I think he had a daughter born a couple of days ago when they played the Clippers, and he didn't play in that game. Knicks took advantage of a Clippers team that had no interest. I think that game scored nearly 270 points. Mm-hmm. But tonight, if LeBron plays, because he has become the assist guy for this team. I mean, he feeds everybody. He gets everybody going and then adds his to it. I don't think the Knicks can stop him. I think the fact that L.A. sleptwalked through that game Sunday night against Detroit probably motivates them a little bit. I don't know, and I don't really factor in last season revenge into anything, but the Knicks did beat this team twice last year, which is pretty embarrassing. Mm-hmm. It's the first meeting this year. If LeBron's getting on the court tonight and he doesn't feel that great, because I think it was reported illness that he might not play in this game, if he's getting on the court, it just indicates to me that it's because it's the Knicks and he wants to win that game. So for me, over the total, and get it now because it's only going to go up, I think.
All right, it's only going to go up is right. And look, a lot of shenanigans being called out there in the chat room for you, Ski. A lot of people saying you've been holding on to that nugget of information. You knew LeBron was playing, but you didn't want to share it with us because you know I'm going to go with the Knicks and back them up. And regardless, I will say this. Morris, by the way, is out for the New York Knicks. I don't think that it makes much of a difference. But the 12.5 and how many minutes is LeBron, even if he is playing, how many minutes is he really going to go? It's a fair question at this particular point of the season. Mr. I don't believe in load management. We'll see what kind of load he takes tonight. So let's do this, guys. Round the horn. Let's just remind everybody, and once again, big shout-out to you guys in the chat room. Thanks for joining us live here. Hope you guys enjoy the info, enjoy what we got going on here. Of course, we'll continue to try to do this as much as we can, bringing you a live version here of the NBA Tip-Off Show, but it doesn't change the fact, WagerTalk.com for Ski and for Tony Finn, SportsMemo.com for the Doc, of course, and Rob Vino. That's where you can get these guys. We'll talk some best bets and an underdog here, guys. We'll go around the table like we normally do. And Ski, let me take a wild guess here, but best bet, does it have anything to do with LeBron? I'm just asking. Is it?
I'm gonna give him a break today.
Oh, holy crap! All right.
I've been away for a little bit, so I'll split it up today and do two.
Go ahead.
We'll go with Portland. If you can give me the number on the first half total, Joe. But I'm gonna rock with Portland and Toronto. I think last I saw was 113.
Yes.
Okay. A lot of offense missing for Toronto. I still think the defense shows up, so I'll rock with under the first half total of 113.
Okay.
I think without Van Fleet in there, kind of maybe would throw the offense off in the beginning. And CJ, we're not sure what we're going to get from him, so I like that first half under. And the second one, we're going to go with Minnesota and Memphis, the game we didn't talk about. Last 5 game stats, third in pace, first in pace. It's going to be an up-tempo game. We can possibly get Karl Anthony Towns back tonight. Mm-hmm. I like over the total, 228.
Right. So we got a first half under in Portland, and you like the Memphis minute. You like the over in that one, right?
Right.
Bam. All right, Tony Finn, talk to me, brother, man. I know you got a lot of, a lot of pass for you here. A lot of passing, a lot of non-interest, a lot of passing for you. So talk to me tonight, man. Where are you going?
Saving time for everyone else who has interest in something that I find very uninteresting. I'm under the belief and under the direction of reliable sources that Towns isn't playing tonight. Ooh. That he's already out. That's what I've told. That now, I take everything with a grain of salt. Everything, even what I say, you got to take with a grain of salt, obviously. Mm-hmm. But in that case, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. You take Memphis here. It's a small number with no Towns. Where is Minnesota going to get the points? And I'm trying to think here. I think Jake's playing about 10 minutes a game. He's contributing 10 points a game in 10 minutes. He's out. That's big 10 points. Listen, Memphis minus the 3.5 or 4. Probably go to 5.
Take it to the bank. It's the only thing Finn's got interest in. It's got to be gold there. So talk to me here, Doc. I know you're going to disagree with everything Finn just said. So outside of that, talk to me. Best bet. Where are you going?
What's the other thing you're going to get from me?
It's going to be a first half. I know it's coming. Go ahead.
So even more to Ski's point, which isn't one of my top plays, but yeah, I mean, both trends are great for first half under with the Raptors. The Raptors at home, I think, are 12-5 under. Blazers on the road, I think, are 10-7 under. So, I mean, even more reason with the injuries and stuff like that. That's a good number. It's funny that we mentioned LeBron during the show. I really liked, because of the spot I spoke about with the Knicks, because of LeBron playing, and I think you brought up if he's playing, is he really going to play that much? I think he is, and especially in the first half. And right now you can get -7 in the first half. Knicks aren't good in the first half against the spread. Lakers are pretty good, and I think that's where they really step on them at the start. I think actually Marcus Morris does kind of create a little bit of an issue. I mean, I do like him better with Peyton, and Randall probably has a little bit of revenge factor as well, even though this is the second team. So that's a good aspect too. But the other thing in one of the earlier games we talked about, one of my best bets is Nets on the first half. You're going to get money line on that. That's going to be regular juice, and they're 12-4 at home in the first half. Thunder, I think they played hard, and I think they probably thought coming into that game they should get a win. But on the back-to-back, they're I guess they're both traveling, but they're not the home team, and the Nets are already good on the first half, and the line makes no sense. And I think it's probably going to be a game where it might even be Nets first half, Thunder full game. But I definitely like those two.
All right, loving those two. So talk to me there, Rob Vino. Talk to me about best bets tonight, man. Where are you going?
Yeah, first of all, I can't get over the fact that Tony said under the twice and didn't finish it off with influence.
Yes.
For the audience. I thought for sure that's where he was going.
Yep, solid point. Yep.
I'm so glad that we didn't talk about Memphis, Minnesota to start with, Joe, because normally we give out hell no's when we refer to Ski on this show, but I'm going to give a hell yeah because I couldn't be more on board with over the total in that Memphis, Minnesota game. Now, Minnesota was low scoring for about 6 or 7 games, and they were playing better defense. But Teague and Wiggins both came back. I mean, we're talking about Karl Anthony Towns not playing. How about Jeff Teague and Andrew Wiggins came back last game, and Minnesota got back to their antics of playing offense again. Memphis you can't make enough money betting this team over at this point in time. So I'm going to go ahead and play that game up and over. And to throw a side in there, I'll extend on what Chuck said. I like Brooklyn for the game. I think Brooklyn's going to win that game. When they don't have Gallinari, the Oklahoma City Thunder side, I just feel like it's too much of a burden on the 3 guards to score points. So give me Brooklyn and give me that Minnesota-Memphis game up and over the total. I really can't believe that thing isn't listed in the 230s, to tell you the truth.
Love that. All right, so there we go. Almost a hell yes, always for Rob Vino anytime Memphis is involved in just about anything. Shits and giggles time here, guys. The shits and giggles money line, I got to tell you, I think Portland wins this guy. I mean, I think Toronto wins this game rather easily at home. I do think there'll be fewer points in this game than some people think, given the injuries that we know. We know this. Portland is 3-14 versus winning teams. This is a winning team even without those 3 guys. So give me the New York Knicks getting the 12.5 points, and give me the Toronto Raptors on the money line to get the job done. And then we will just call it shits and giggles. And I'm glad I had some interest and you didn't there, Tony, because you'd only poo-poo this anyway with the fact that I'm taking the New York Knicks and the 14 points.
Maybe wait and get a few more points.
Oh, it's going to. Don't worry about that. It's going to get up to 16 before it's all said and done here once we get that official announcement there. Hate to break it to you, Ski. How many are you going to give me? 20 points tonight? How many are we going to go? How many are you giving me? Your confidence level there in the Lakers. How many are you giving me?
Oh, no, I'm not confident in the Lakers at all tonight.
Oh.
I just like them early. I like the Knicks for the full game.
Give it to me early, damn it. And as far as you guys in the chat room, again, thank you guys very much for stopping by here today. Want to remind you, Tony Finn and Ski, you guys can grab them over at WagerTalk.com as well as SportsMemo.com. Rob Vino, of course, and the doctor are available. So, Brian, today we got Drew, Luke, you guys, Shah. You guys all rock. Thank you very much for stopping by. Don't forget, subscribe here on YouTube to the channel. Hit that little damn bell in the upper right-hand corner. Never miss an episode when we go live. We'll start bringing these to you live as many times as we can. We apologize for Tony Finn. We love him anyway, but he was under today. Something.
Under.
But he'll
Under.
be back with us tomorrow because he's like a bad rash. We can't get rid of him. Ski's going to bring don't worry, his LeBron poster will be in the back. The doctor will eventually get some sort of backdrop so we don't have to look at the dirty laundry and everything else. And Rob is just going to sit there laughing the whole damn time, and we'll be back again tomorrow. Am I right here, fellas? Are we ready to do? Oh, by the way, who's got the plays up tonight? Raise your hand. Who's got them? Ski? Your plays up or no? Oh, he hit the damn mute. You and the damn mute button, man. Damn.
I thought we were raising hands. I thought we was raising hands.
You weren't raising crap. Couldn't see anything.
Right now?
Yeah, you got it there, too. Get there, guys. And come back and join us again tomorrow. We'll do this all over again. Tony, pleasure, brother. Yeah. Rob, thank you. Ski, Doc. Guys, good luck today, man. No matter which way you go with it, come back and join us tomorrow. We'll do it all again. Have a good one.
Good luck.